Hey, what's up, everybody? Happy Monday. It is May 13th, 2024, and I'm on break right now. I wanted to hop on this and make a quick video. I spilled primer on my pants. Just a heads up, everybody. So for those of you who don't know, when you're in plumbing, you use primer and glue to glue PVC on, and I literally spilled I just got these brand new pants, was feeling good about myself, right? They're actually okay, they're actually not brand new. I bought them 6 months ago, but I couldn't fit in them. And not even 6 months ago, time is going so fast, over the summer of 2023. And yeah, I couldn't fit in them. Now I can fit in them. First day, bam, christened them with primer, right? So this video is not about me spilling very noxious chemicals on myself. It is actually about not caring what others think about you. They're going to think whatever they want anyway. That's the thing. They're going to do whatever they want anyway. No matter what you do. Some people are always going to have an opinion. Everyone's got an opinion, right? Another thing is that people aren't always thinking about you. You know, you might be making moves that you're self-conscious about, that you're thinking others are judging you. Sometimes they're not. Sometimes they're doing their own thing. They're staying in their own lane, right? It's always the people that are loud about it that we're always hyper aware about, right? So this week, just to sidestep just a little bit why I wanted to make this video. This is a very humbling week for me in my life, every year. So tomorrow is May 14th, is 17 years since my father passed away. It seems like it was just yesterday. He died the night after Mother's Day, so Mother's Day night. And I was pregnant with my oldest daughter, she'll be 17 in August. And it's a very humbling time for me. It's a crushing time for me. I was devastated when my father passed away. Still am. Can't even bring it up, but I'm still am. And then Wednesday is my daughter's birthday. She'll be 10. I gotta wait for the redness to go. I'm very pale, so you'll see, if I have even an itch of an emotion, you'll see it. So Wednesday, my daughter is turning 10. May 15th is her birthday, and I had very bad postpartum after she was born. I had a very threatened labor, which is why, having 3 children has been a blessing for me. I always thought I'd have 4 or 5. I come from 7. So she was, her labor I never wanted to go through another pregnancy or a labor and delivery again after that. But she's here and she's beautiful. And I love her. She's funny. She's sweet. And she's my daughter. No, but she is. But you know what I mean. But then on the same day, it was my grandfather's death day anniversary. So May 15th was when he passed. May 14th is when my father passed. May 15th was when my daughter was born. And I remember when I was going through labor, I was like, please, for the love of God, don't let me share the same anniversary with my father, because it's such a yin and yang. It's such a delicate dance of life and death. You see how life comes in and life goes. You know what I mean? So it's hard for me. And there were 2 people, my grandfather being the only one I ever really knew, or I ever knew rather, and my father being my father, who I was very close with, and then my daughter, who I love to pieces, but I had a very difficult labor with her. So, and following that was 2 years of extreme postpartum that I didn't think I was going to come out of. So it's a hard week for me. It's a humbling week for me. And it's a week that really makes me, I really ponder, and I sit and I write in my journal, and I think about, where I've come from, what I've been through, and how nothing is going to stop me. The opinion of anyone that's around me in my circle that wishes me nothing but well is not of my concern, right? There was a phrase that I heard a long time ago, and I've been hearing it now more, recently, but it's something that I heard a while ago, and I hadn't heard it up until that point, which is the first time I heard it. All right, anyway. Brooke. And it was, what other people think about you is none of your business. That's the case. That's truly the case, right? So you have the one hand where people are going to think whatever they want to think, doesn't matter what you do. They're always going to have an opinion, and sometimes it doesn't matter what you do. They, you know how they say when they grade on a curve, people are always going to judge you on a curve. It's like, oh, wow, her hair looks nice. Oh, but it's extensions. Or, oh, but it's, it's a bad color or whatever. People are always going to have that curve. Some people, not everyone, obviously not everybody is going to think slighted towards you, but there are those people, and they're usually the more vocal ones. And then there's people that don't think about you at all. So we have to stop, and I see it a lot, that people don't want to make moves because they're worried about what other people think about them. They're always going to have an opinion, or they're not thinking about you. That's just what it is. It's just what it is. So like the reason why I brought up the anniversaries and things like that is because life goes too fast. You know, and I mentioned this in my last video, and thank you all for the comments. I really appreciate speaking with people and talking to them and opening up a dialogue and getting feedback, constructive criticism. I'm all about that stuff. That's like my jam. You know what I mean? I love it. I love the communication. I love the connection. I'm all about it. But I will say that, like, you know, life goes too fast. Life goes too fast. We don't have a lot of time. And the opinions of others who are sitting on the couch and you're lapping, do you know what I'm saying? Like, does not mean anything. You know, and I'm going to share my experience. It's with so many things in my life. And obviously my experience is my own. It's not everybody else's. And I can only speak on through the lens of myself because that's all I know, right? So when I was a kid, even like being a vegetarian, this is not like, I'm not going to go back and forth with the meat vegetarian thing. I am strictly a vegan for the animals. That's it. I've never done it for health. There's arguments to be made. We need certain things, and I get that. But for my whole life has always been, you know, this is who I am. People are going to think about me anyway, right? They're going to think about negatively in certain ways about me anyway. So I can't stop them. And I learned that at a young age, and a really young age, like 5. I learned that, you know, like that. You know, people have a problem with certain things that you're going to do, and you just have to do what's right for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, being a vegetarian was right for me. There's people that are going to they're going to side eye you. I'm like, all right, weirdo. Okay. You know, like people, and that's cool. That's not my business though. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to, like, you know, even like my career moves, like up until present day, you know, we had, like just even like with my OCD and when I would have tics and, like, you know, I would just do them freely because I'm like, you know what, this is who I am. I'm not going to, it's hard for me to function in the day without doing certain things, especially having OCD. Like it's difficult for me. This is who I am, right? You can ask anyone in my plumbing class. Sometimes it's like, I try to hide it for a while and I'm like, you know what? They're going to think whatever they want about me anyway. Everybody move their barcodes. You know what I'm saying? Like, turn your barcodes. It can't face me. So, but up until present day, when it comes to like my career moves, right? It's, you know, I'm a female in a man's industry, like a plumbing industry. You know, every single day I go on the job, it's almost an act of, you know, I don't want to say rebellion, but there is an essence that I know people don't want me there. Like, I know there are men that don't want me there, 100%. And it has nothing to do with my union. I work with a lot of gentlemen. Of course, I've worked with people that I know that don't want me on the job, and it's whatever, because I'm there, you know, or I know that they don't like me, and it doesn't matter what I do, they're just not going to like me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm not going to try to make them like me. I'm just going to be who I am and attract who wants to be near me or who wants that kind of relationship with me. But like when I go on the job site, like I get comments every single day, and it's not for the faint of heart, because there's sometimes where, especially when I was starting in the beginning, like I didn't know anybody. You know, like I said, my dad's anniversary is tomorrow. My grandfather, who was a welder, I found out after he passed away. Well, obviously I was 6, but after I started welding, I found out my grandfather was a welder. And you know, these are the 2 men in my life that I would have been able to lean on, you know, being in the construction world. But when I got into plumbing, I had nobody. And in essence, I still don't have anybody. You know, I have friends, but that ladder climb is my own. You know what I'm saying? That's my own moves. It's what I'm doing, you know, and it's moves that I'm going to make regardless of what other people think about me. Now, this isn't to say, oh, be like me and who cares? Because listen, it's a lot easier said than done. When you're by yourself, when you're on an elevator with 8 men, right? Half of them, you know, don't want you there. Like, solid, straight up. You know, and I was talking with another commenter, like, I go on a job site and I have to assess, like, to the best of my ability, what is what. Who wants me there? Who wishes ill on me? Who, you know, who's going to hit on me? You know what I mean? Like, it's like, who, like, whatever. You have to, like, assess who to stay away from. You know what I'm saying? Or who to be around, whatever. Who's a threat. That's what you have to do. You have to assess who's a threat. So, like, some people would be like, oh, well, just leave. Well, no. I'm putting my effort and my time into a trade to learn a skill set so I can take it anywhere in the world, and I want to see how far I can take this journey with me. So it doesn't matter, like, people's comments and things like that. I'm doing what I want. Regardless of what you have to say about it. And that goes for anything. And, you know, I don't want to get into too many different avenues, because I did get some constructive criticism about having good points, but too many good points in one video. So another one is talking about dreaming. I'm gonna have a completely different video on that. But there are a lot of people who are very talented, who are skilled, who can really do a lot of good in this world, and they're petrified by what some jackass who's doing less than. It's always the people that are doing less than you that have the most to say about you. You know what I'm saying? But they're worried about what people are going to say. I had a really good story, but I didn't want to write it because of this, of my Aunt Sally, of whatever, right? I knew a person that's actually, this made me think of something. This woman who I wasn't like ever really a fan of. She was a woman that I trained with, and whatever. Like, I wasn't a fan of her, but I respected her in the sense that she kind of did her own thing. Like, she was corny, you know what I mean? Like, whatever. We were okay. She wasn't like my favorite person, but I always had, especially as I get older, I have more respect for her now. I'm like, good for you, girl. So she wrote these books, okay? I'm not saying a name in case anyone ever stumbles upon it. It is no shade at all. You know who you are. If you ever find this video, I send you nothing but love. But the stories were garbage, okay? They were garbage. They were awful. I read both books. They were horrible, okay? They were so bad. And it was like a joke how bad they were, right? However, she wrote the books. She got a little following, and she was proud of herself. And she did the damn thing. She didn't give a damn what anybody else said about her. And you know what? It's so funny because even when I say that now, it's like I'm talking about those people. Like as much as and I was judging her on a bias almost. It's like, listen, I already think she's meh, not my flavor. You know what I mean? Like, she's like just a cornball, whatever. And like even like just passive aggressive, like whatever. Like there was like. She was a higher rank than me, even though I can kick her ass. Like, it was a whole thing, okay? It was a whole thing. She was very opinionated, whatever, like, but we all are, right, in a certain extent. But even as I say this, I laugh because I still have her books on my bookshelf. Like, you go, girl. Yes, you rock those bad books. You know what I'm saying? I bought them, like, good for you, I don't know, like, I know she moved or whatever, but, like, it's funny because that's a good example of, like, who gives a damn what other people say? Just do it anyway. So now when she's, 80... God willing, she lives that long, like, she'll be like, hey, I wrote 2 books. Like, hey, yeah, I'm an author. They don't have to be bestsellers. That's what you wanted to do. Now, on the other hand, you have people that have incredible stories, that they write and then they become whatever and, like, they do things with it and it takes them down a different life path than they had originated. But then there are people that keep it all inside and they don't do anything because they're worried about the shame and ridicule from other people. Don't. Anything you want to do in your life, just do it. Just do it. Who gives a damn what other people think about you? I know it's easier said than done because a lot of times, like even when I went on this interview, it's not like I mentioned it in my last video about News 12 and even that, even being confident, everyone's like, oh, you were so confident and things like that. I was still in the back of my head, what are people going to say? And guess what? People had things to say. But also guess what? The president of my union, top dog, Mark McManus, hit me up. So I'm like, you know what? There you go. Put yourself out there and you'll know what I'm saying? You'll never know what you'll get in return. So it's I just wanted to kind of share that. I have to get back to work, but do what you want to do in your life. Stop worrying about what other people who can't hold a candle to you think about you. Stop worrying about what people who do nothing for you think about you. Of course, there's like, you want your approval, like not even approval, but like, even when I had my diaper service, right? Like my husband and I, like, he was always very, and my, my diaper service ended, things like that. But I still did what I wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? Like I was still had a vision. I went forward with it. I tried it. Things don't work out. Okay, at least I did it. You know what I'm saying? At least I did it. At least I could say I did it. And even with the plumbing thing, it's like, a lot of times, like, okay, perfect example. Another example is, I mentioned it, my kids go to private school, it's not high on the hog or anything. I just wanted them to have a really good, different education than I had. And, I go to these schools and like, I know that as nice as a lot of these women are, I know that there's women that don't like me or they don't think I have a place there. Or, I'm coming there, I'm in my construction clothes, and I'm dirty and like I have primer on my pants, and it doesn't matter like if I do my makeup, like, or my hair or whatever, like they're going to think something of me. And I have to say, like when I first started going to these schools, like I knew people said stuff and I felt really bad about myself. But now, it's like I kicked the table over and I'm like, excuse me, bitches, I have a place here too. You know what I'm saying? Like my kids have a place here, and it's funny too because like my girls, they're so well behaved and like they do so well, and like my one daughter got like cum laude in her school, and like we're gonna go there and we're gonna celebrate, and it's like we have a seat at the table regardless of how we got there. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I don't care if I have to work in construction and maybe someone married into like big money and like whatever. We're two different people. We have two different lives. You know what I'm saying? So it's like fine, but it's just crazy how like that alone, that situation alone, people would not want to be in that situation. You know what I mean? It's like they don't want to get judged. Listen, newsflash, we're all judged. And at the end of days, we'll all be judged. You know what I'm saying? So just do what you want to do in your life. Just take risks, take chances. Who gives a damn what they think about you?